We've been seeing decreasing sales in China right after we released the green caps.
Well, we won't have the black caps ready for another 2 weeks.
Then we need to escalate. Escalate!
啊，我哪里做错了？
So what does that mean? Escalate. I've seen people use this term the wrong way.
The cost of our materials is escalating. Our customer dissatisfaction is escalating.
To understand what it means, let's look at a related word. And if you think about an escalator at the metro or at the shopping center, it helps bring you to a higher floor. An escalation at work is similar. It's about bringing an urgent issue to someone at a higher level. While you might not be starting an escalation, other teams may be escalating issues to your manager. So it's important to understand what it means when other people mention that they need to escalate. Let's say that you're working at Uniqlo, and the team is discussing a new line of clothing to promote environmental sustainability.
The first product we're releasing is the green cap.
I don't think the green cap is going to sell well in China.
Well, this is a company-wide initiative, so we have to move forward. We're losing millions in revenue each day. No one is buying the green caps.
Well, we won't have the black caps ready for another 2 weeks.
If you can't get the black caps on shelves in 2 days, then we need to escalate.
Let's first make sure we understand this statement. When we say we need to escalate, it means this is an emergency and we need to bring this up to management. There are different ways to use this phrase, but in its complete form, we might say we need to escalate this issue to the executive team. We need to escalate this issue to the executive team. You can see that we added the problem we're going to be escalating and to whom we're going to be escalating to. Here's another example. We need to escalate this bug to the engineering leadership. Oftentimes, if the issue is understood by everyone in the meeting, many people will just keep it simple and say, we need to escalate. After an escalation is brought up, there's usually an escalation meeting with leadership to discuss the issue. Let's see what happens.
We are escalating because the retail team can't get black caps on shelves in 2 days.
Well, marketing was the one that made the bad decision.
Well, you need to move faster.
In order to avoid turning an escalation into a blame session, try to understand all sides of the situation, and then we can be more objective when discussing the escalation with management.
There's an escalation because we need black caps on shelves in 2 days to prevent losses, but there are logistical challenges to doing this quickly for all stores.
Thank you, that's much more clear.
A good way to discuss an escalation is to start off with, there's an escalation because we need to achieve a common goal, but there's some kind of challenge that we're facing. Because it's an escalation, it's okay to be strong with our language, and so we can say we need. However, it's very important that the goal is a shared goal that all of the teams have already agreed to. And when we talk about the challenge, we say there are some kind of challenges to indicate issues without blaming a particular person or team. So don't say the retail team can't do it or Bob is not sending the requirements, because mentioning specific teams or people during an escalation can seem like blaming them. Instead, you should mention that there are certain challenges that the team is facing. Keep in mind that during actual escalations, sometimes emotions can be intense. That's why it's even more important to pay attention to the tone and the type of language that you use. If this has been useful so far, please give it a like or leave a comment. Let's say that you're working on the Starbucks app team and holding another escalation meeting. Pay attention to the phrases we just learned.
There's an escalation because we need to roll back a recent app update due to a 25% decrease in app engagement. However, there are scheduled challenges if we roll back tomorrow because we'll delay V2 features by 2 weeks. Here are the proposals.
We're not going to go too deep into this, but the entire escalation process typically follows these steps. First, there should be an attempted resolution. Most teams won't escalate unless they've tried to solve the problem and they still can't find a solution. When facing an actual escalation, try to be objective about the situation and don't point fingers at any specific teams or people. Finally, add proposed resolutions to help leadership make a decision. Let's do a quick summary. During a meeting, if somebody says we need to escalate, you now know that it means escalating a problem to somebody in management. And during an escalation meeting, we want to try our best to be objective about the situation. So we say there's an escalation because we want to achieve a shared goal, but there's a challenging problem, and then bring up proposals. Now that you know the proper usage of this word, remember it the next time you go up an escalator. Hope that was helpful, and see you guys next time. We'll continue talking about communication in meetings.